Do you guys have any like of those like good, bad Valentine's Day memories?
I'm
Mm,
trying to think. I don't remember anything too egregious happening. I once in college, I was in a situationship with this one guy, and we had like dinner in the dorm, but all my roommates were still there. So like, I don't
That's a
know.
very college
Yeah, it
thing.
was
yeah.
very college. I was like dressed all nice and looking cute. He was very much not at all. Like I made this food.
So he's just a guy,
Yeah,
right?
just
Yeah.
yeah,
Just a guy.
typical. I think Sweet Home Alabama was on TV, so
Oh,
we ended up watching that. I was like ready to go out. He was like, "Well, I'm tired. I'm going home." And I was like, "Okay." Like that
You
was
didn't even
cool.
get it in?
No, not even. Like I did all this shit. I like wore cute lingerie. I made cake. Like
oh.
literally did the whole thing. I think this was my first Valentine's Day like with someone, with a
Mm.
guy. And then yeah, we watched the movie and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going home." I was like, "What?"
Kids in college, I can't
So
fucking deal. Like
confused.
young guys, like when even the guys I dated, and most of us are very friendly now. They look back and they're like, "I was really stupid." I'm like, "Yeah, I was telling you that then. I'm glad you finally figured it out."
Wow.
But what about you, James?
Wild.
Well, I do want to say, like, with that, I feel like having that label and that expectation can create pressure
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, what if you did get it in? And what if it sucked?
Right,
You know,
right,
then
right,
it's like,
right.
my Valentine's Day
Yeah.
sex was really bad, you know? And then
Right.
if people have this like expectation, which sometimes I feel about weddings too, where
Sure.
it's like, if it wasn't as amazing as we, made it out to be mentally, then it's like letting that expectation go, you
Yeah.
know?
I'm
Um,
also very Indian, so I'm always about economics. I'm like, this is a waste of money. I would rather have a
Indian
down
weddings,
payment
though,
on
are
a
like
house.
a three-day party.
That's what 4 days.
4 days,
You know.
but also down payment on the house.
Right.
For me, I think I actually, when I was streaming on Twitch for the last couple of years, I
Mhm.
did like a little Valentine's Day like hangout in our Discord for like all the singles or whoever just wanted to hang out, you
Right.
know? But it was like, yeah, so that was really fun and cute that we just got to like commiserate. I say that with quotes because it's like we were just hanging out and just chilling and
Right.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What was other people's sentiments in there? Were they like feeling weird about this day? Because this day can be triggering for a lot of people,
Sure.
right? Like,
I think so. Yeah, not for them though. Yeah, they were just like, I'm single and I don't really have anything to do today, and we just want to hang out. Sure,
Hang
whatever.
out, yeah.
Because I think it also like landed perfectly on like a Saturday or something last year or 2 years ago.
Right.
What year is
do you
it?
think
Probably
that's
2 years
better
ago.
or worse? I feel like
A weekend?
if it's a weekend, like it's Friday or Saturday
Depends.
Valentine's Day, I think people would feel it like more just because it feels like, oh, it's a date night.
There's
and
less of an
if
excuse
it's
to
like
get out of it.
Tuesday, like it is this year, everybody's like, whatever, man, I got work. I'm
Right,
not doing
right,
shit anyway.
Right.
But that's another thing I was thinking about earlier, where if everyone is celebrating and trying to do something,
Right.
then it's like every restaurant, everything is going to be
Yeah.
packed anyway. So
Yep.
it's either you plan like 6 months ahead to make sure, okay, I got my little dual chair thing and the perfect thing by the window in the restaurant and the
Right,
upstairs
right.
and the rose, and and it's like, yeah, I'm also someone that's just like about habits, where it's
Mhm.
like, why not make it a habit of regularly
Mhm.
expressing your love
Yeah.
to someone rather than turning it into like a one-day thing throughout the year kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. That's what my boyfriend and I kind of are more committed to. Like we really actively, because we're very busy, like try to make time to be like, okay, no, we need a date night. We need to do this. We need to do an activity together. And so it doesn't feel like, Valentine's Day is honestly a thing. But this year I'm trying to, because I hate this holiday, whatever, this day. And an activity that I did even when I was like a kid, when I was 16, we used to make cards for each other.
Yeah.
I was in a 4-year, one of those like high school, college relationships. So I was with
Mhm.
somebody for 4 years, and I was like, let's make cards. Let's do an activity. Like I want something like where you're actually actively putting in work. And I'm going to a store, getting some card,
Right.
and then just being like, here you go, writing a
Right.
fucking. And guys, you have terrible handwriting. I'm
Oh, I
like,
have
A lot of
terrible
us do, most of us do.
Yeah.
I think.
Handwriting.
So I
really
was
bad.
just like, I like when somebody feels like you're putting in an effort in something.
Mhm.
So this time I was like, okay, I'll handle that day. I'm going to do it at home basically, and just like make a nice dinner and make it feel romantic. And then he can plan the dinner another day if he wants. So
Right.
it was like, we're not going out that night.
Right.
Nice.
That's something that I feel like also can get lost in the messaging, where sometimes, and I think this can become a guy thing too, where it's like, oh, it's just about the card and the chocolate or whatever, and it's like ticking a box rather than like, oh, let's just do something simple, but it's the meaning behind
Behind
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody was asking me this, but they were saying that they hate this day because on social media, everyone's like posting all their
Relationship stuff.
relationship shit.
I will say to that,
Don't go.
for me, I always see it like I guess this is just like a mantra I can use, other people might be able to use, but for me, I always feel like if someone needs to really post that hard about their relationship on social media, maybe that's compensating.
For some other shit.
No,
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot on the podcast too. Like my boyfriend and I, you guys know, we don't post about each other on social media. We tag each other here and there, but nobody needs to see pictures. It's gross. It's nobody cares. Nobody's like, wow, this is so amazing and thank you. They don't care. And our friends and our family see our pictures and that's all. And
Right.
comes with me places and everybody knows about them. But we're like, both of us are just like, no, nobody cares.
Right. I think once in a while, if you really feel like, you're overflowing with love and you're just,
Right,
I gotta do something. I gotta say something. I gotta show the world, shout it to the world. Yeah. Okay, fine.
No,
But-
do it in your stories to your close friends.
Right. Yeah.
To your close friends.
Because at the same time, it's like depends how people, I guess, use social media. Because I think being content creators and actors and stuff, it's like, okay, this is a business platform, and what value am I giving to my viewers? Versus like, this is just like my diary, so I'm just gonna like shove my life into people's faces, and then it's like at that point, it's like, well, then who cares? I don't want to see this. Like, great, good for you, good for you. You found love, isn't that awesome?
That's what so many people feel. So I just, we're like, just stay off.
Yeah. If
that
you're
too.
really that upset about it, then
Yeah.
just don't be on it because
Yeah.
it's gonna be there.
What do you guys think about Galentines and like hanging with friends?
Love
I think that's lovely.
Yeah.
It's like
So into it.
Friendsgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I just wish we could change the name Galentines. I don't know. It just seems like a very like super old school white thing. It's like, hey, gal. Like, I'm like,
Hey guys and
feels
gals.
like, it just feels like a very like 20s word to me. But other than that, I love the idea of like what you did with like that Twitch. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Hanging with people and just not feeling
Yeah.
like you're
my
alone.
my friend's throwing a party this
Yeah?
year.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
I was like,
There you
sure,
go.
why not?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care either way.
Yeah.
I was asleep like before midnight
Oh,
for
yeah.
New Year's, like,
Yeah.
like I was like,
Same.
yeah.
But
And
it's the same thing. It's like I was honestly single. I've been single for most Valentine's days as an adult. And I didn't give a shit about the day. But something that I think people can do is like treat themselves.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Like go do something that's about you and like that
Yeah.
self-love. Like
I
again,
love
let's
that
just make it
self-love,
like
yeah,
about
yeah.
a day of love.
Yeah.
And self-love that
Yes.
day is the most important thing. So
Because I
like
think so many people don't practice that
Yeah.
enough.
at all.
Yeah.
Like, and I take me days. And so it's like a good excuse to be like, that's my me day.
Right. Yeah. Buy yourself some chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I read that I thought was actually a really nice additional thing is to volunteer or like do
Yeah.
something for others that
Yeah.
day so that you're not thinking about yourself.
Hell
I
yeah.
actually thought that was such a
Nice.
nice thing
Yeah.
because sometimes we get so caught up in our head and everything is
Yes.
about us.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't know if you guys feel like this, but one nice thing about LA is, you have these lookout points and these hikes that you go on. And sometimes you can just sit out in nature, look out in the world and go, wow, I am so small
Mhm.
and I don't
Yeah.
matter.
Mhm.
But in your head, in your house, all you see is yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
True.
and then when you look out in the world, you're like, oh wait, yeah, there's a lot more happening. And sometimes like giving to others kind of makes you forget about, whether that's a dog. People like going, dog shelters and volunteering there, or a seniors home, or just a kitchen, soup
Yeah.
kitchen,
Yeah.
anything like
Yeah.
that. I think those are nice.
Because I think that also puts into perspective too. It's just like my woe is me issues of being single or not. And it's not to say that the feelings aren't valid, but it's like helps
Yeah.
at least put into perspective to be like, oh, you know what? Some people don't have a place to sleep, regularly or something. Or like this
Exactly.
person is alone and they're at their late stages in life and no one seems to even care about them at all. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I hope you guys enjoyed that video and check out our next one. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to this channel for more amazing dating, love, and relationship advice from me and so many expert guests. Follow us on socials. We're at Kinda Dating across the board. I'm Natasha Chandel, so you can find me too if you like. And join our newsletter on www.kindadating.com for lots of exclusives. See you soon.